Good afternoon, everyone. My name is G. Lamar Stewart. I'm the Chief of Community Engagement at the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, and I want to welcome everyone to our virtual one-stop job and resource hub. Thank you to all of our employers, our social service providers, and those who are in attendance looking for jobs and resources. This is our very first virtual one-stop. Pre-COVID, we hosted one-stop job and resource hubs all throughout our city, and it's hosted every month by the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. And so we're grateful to have this privilege to go into neighborhoods, whether that's schools or faith-based institutions or rec centers, to bring employers. We know we bring around 50 employers every month to the community. So of course, because of COVID, we've had to be a bit innovative here. And so we created a way to still get these resources to you. So thank you for trusting the process. Thank you for coming on and being a part of this. And we're excited about all of our presenters and the information that you're going to receive today. Just before we get started with our employers and social service providers, we're very grateful to have with us today Philadelphia District Attorney Larry Krasner. And so he'll be giving an opening, some opening remarks of our entire office. Thank you again.
Thank you. This is Larry Krasner, District Attorney. So this is really exciting. We find ourselves in a tremendous challenge. We have a kind of pandemic the U.S. has seen once in 100 years. We have a second Great Depression. We haven't seen that for 100 years. And we have civil unrest like we haven't seen for 50 years. We have it all at the same time. But that doesn't mean we can stop. If anything, the need for one-stop hub resources is even greater than it has been in the past. And I'm thrilled to see that our office has been able to adapt and that we have so much support from the presenters, the providers of social services, the employers, and also from the attendees. I'm watching the number of participants here ticking up and up and up and up. And that's wonderful, because that really is how the work gets done. That really is how we serve the needs of victims and how we are able to prevent crime from happening in the future. So thank you all for your participation, whether you're attending or you are presenting. You are truly appreciated by this office. And I hope this is beneficial to everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, D.A. Krasner. And again, thank you all for being on. We're going to move right into our presentations. And so we have several employers and social service providers that will be presenting over the next 2 hours. And so we're starting today with Kristen from Lowe. And so we'll be unmuting Kristen, and her slides will be presented here momentarily. Kristen, you should be able to mute yourself as well.
Yep, perfect. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us here today for this virtual hiring event. Obviously, we know Lowe's is hiring. So with Lowe's here today, we have myself. Again, my name is Kristen Mahaffey. We have Eric Calais and Tracy Marable with us today as well. So we have multiple positions available here at Lowe's. Obviously, we have multiple stores in the area, so we want to have you find a store, that's located near you. And even though one store may be hiring near you, there's multiple options available with positions. So for the slide, okay, perfect. So just to recap some of our positions available we have here at Lowe's, we have the front end area, which is our cashiers, return desk, customer service associates. We have our sales force service associates, which oversees the various departments within the stores, whether it's paint, millwork, appliances, hardware, tools, pro services. Those are the ones that are serving our customers throughout the sales floor. Our receiving, stocking, delivery positions, and these can be day or overnight. We have our plumbing and electrical pros, sales specialists, department supervisors, and assistant store managers. The one thing with these positions is that we are very big with training for our Red Vest Ready training programs. And we're very big with promoting within. So once you're in these roles, the possibilities are endless when it comes to promotions within our stores. We have multiple locations available in the area. I personally oversee all the areas of South Jersey stores. I do have South Philadelphia location, and then my peers Eric and Tracy oversee the other areas of Philadelphia. Obviously, for these positions, we are looking for those who are very customer focused, high energy associates. For someone who can really provide that excellent customer service to our customers that come through our doors each day. And then the next slide, you want to, and then I can talk about how to apply. So when applying with Lowe's, we made it easy for you. So all you do is have to type in jobs.lowes.com. And then from there, you can see that point that the explore jobs near you. You can search by radius. So when you have stores within a certain mile radius, based on how far you're willing to travel, all the positions within that area will come up. So, you know, just typing that in, jobs.lowes.com will bring up all the positions near you and your location. Other than that, once you join us, we have multiple benefit options as well as development. We have the track to the trades programs and things like that. So if you have any questions, our contact information is below. You have Eric and Tracy as well on the call, and those are their emails.
Thank you so much, Kristen. Eric and Tracy, we do have another minute or so. If you want to say a few words, feel free to unmute yourself.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Kristen, for kicking us off, and Tracy's with us as well. So we definitely would invite you if you're interested in working at Lowe's Home Improvement Retail. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to talk to you, and just feel free. Our email addresses are up on the screen. Visit our website, and you know, through our website, you can explore all of our opportunities. So thanks again, everyone, for coming today. We really appreciate it, and thanks for having us on this virtual job fair today.
Tracy, if you'd like to share a word, you can feel free to unmute yourself. We can hear you. You might have to speak up a little bit, coming in a little low.
So I'd also like to thank you for allowing us to be a part of today. And I just wanted to make sure everyone understood I don't have a Philadelphia store, but I have Lowe's stores that are right on the outskirts.
Tracy, I apologize. You're coming in a bit low. We do appreciate the presentation from both from Lowe's, and we appreciate both Kristen, Eric, and Tracy for all being on One Stop, or on this virtual one-stop job and resource hub. Thank you so much for your time. And again, if you want to get in contact with Kristen, with Eric, with Tracy, to learn more about the positions they just presented, Andriana Bearfield, just put contact information in the chat section and feel free to reach out. Next up, we have Joseph Taylor from SEPTA. Joseph, please feel free to turn your camera on and unmute yourself, and Seth will run your slides.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, my name is Joseph Taylor. I'm a recruiter for SEPTA, Southeastern Pennsylvania Human Resources. Southeastern Pennsylvania Transportation Authority, excuse me, with Human Resources Department. Right now, SEPTA is looking for a variety of positions. Particularly our main concentrations are within the skilled trade areas, those that kind of make our buses and trains and equipment go, so to speak. And we're also looking mainly for a lot of operators within those areas as well. We've been getting the green light to go to full focus hiring again. You know, as we were given the green light to begin to bring in more passengers, we've also been given the green light to begin more of a full-fledged hiring processes, as we normally would do. If you go to our next slide here, you'll see the different categories and jobs that we're looking for right now. Again, there's a lot of information on this sheet. All these are active positions right now that are currently hiring and currently recruiting. They're all active and open positions. Mostly within the skilled trade areas, we're looking for people who have training or experiences in the different areas. So if you have training, for example, as an HVAC, an HVAC mechanic, we can bring you in as HVAC mechanic, one of our openings. Generally within the process, whenever you submit an application to submit a resume, your resume is reviewed by a recruiter just like myself, directly, and then we make the determination based on the qualifications that we need for the position and qualifications that the hiring managers give us as far as who we're going to invite in for the next steps. The next steps can contain either you coming for skills testing, which is done in our testing center at 1234 Market Street, or you would be sent a link to complete testing. That happens for all of our bus operator, bus and conductor and locomotive operator candidates who come in. They do the testing online. All the other candidates will do testing at our testing center at 1234 Market Street. We're not able to bring in as many people as we used to for that, because we have spacing restrictions due to COVID-19. For example, we used to bring in, maybe for a testing session, we were bringing 50 people previously, so we can test a lot more. But now we're kind of limited to how many we can bring in for the time being until things start to normalize. So we're roughly around be able to bring in 15 people for our testing session. So it's important that once you do get an invite for testing for one of these positions, if and when you do get an invite for testing for one of these positions, that you book it as soon as possible, because they're going to fill up fast once you get the invite. But generally, the main qualifications and specifications are indicated within each position on our database. And again, these are all active positions. These are all active hires that are going on right now. One good thing about SEPTA is and it was provided as an example during the COVID crisis, is we do not have layoffs within SEPTA. Employees who are working with who are currently working with their jobs within the different unions, they keep their jobs until, obviously if they're terminated, they don't keep the jobs, but they're not going to be laid off due to something like, for example, the COVID crisis. We didn't lay off any employees, and we don't plan to do so in the near future as well. There are wonderful benefits associated with all of the different positions. The benefits vary per union, but for the most part, SEPTA has different unions and different benefits. All have very good benefits, pretty good very competitive starting rates for the positions as well. Medical, dental, health benefits, retirement benefits, all those are pretty top notch here at SEPTA. So, we encourage you, if you are looking for a change or looking to bring your career back up, to pursue one of our openings. A lot of people who come in may not have specific qualifications for those in the positions that we're looking for on that page, for example. I mean, that's our preference. But if you still want to sort of, quote unquote, get into the door with SEPTA, a lot of people do that via a position such as a bus operator, or they may come in as a regional rail conductor or engineer trainee, which isn't on the list right now, but that may be on the list in the near future. So if you're not particularly a skilled mechanic or a skilled engineer or a painter, millwright, electrician, whatever the case may be, but you still want to be associated with SEPTA, a lot of people come in on, again, a quote unquote entry level basis by coming in as, for example, as a bus operator, if they don't have that requisite skills and experience. And then once they come into SEPTA, you can obtain different types of training, where you can transfer to different openings within SEPTA and promote to different openings within SEPTA, because we first promote all our positions from within. So those opportunities are available for people who are working for SEPTA already. So you come in as a bus operator, you may do some type of training as an electrician, move up to electrician, move up to a manager. It happens all the time. On the third slide here, when we're ready. Again, these are the instructions for applying for positions at SEPTA. Again, that second bullet is very, 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 very important. Please be sure that your resume is up to date and clearly lists your qualifications. Again, there's a recruiter just like myself who's looking at every single one of these applications and making determinations as far as how close you fit the job, and then how close you fit the job in regards to your other people who are applying for those positions. So please, when you do it, make sure that you submit your resume, make sure it's clear that your qualification for the position, make sure it's up to date, make sure your contact information is up to date. Because you may the initial contact may be an email or even a text message to invite you in for testing. If you have any questions about any of these positions, you can feel free to send myself an email, and I can answer them to the best of my ability. My email address is there, jataylor@septa.org. And I think that's about it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Taylor. Appreciate your time and appreciate all that you do for our city. Our next presenter is Roddy Hammett from the Institute for Community Justice. Roddy, you can unmute yourself and you have 3 minutes to present. Seth will run your slides.
All right, thank you. Can you hear me good?
We can hear you good, sir.
All right, thank you. My name is Roddy Hammett. I'm from the Institute for Community Justice. I'm a prison linkage specialist there. And I'm also the liaison for the Man Up Association, which is based out of SEI Phoenix. And we can go to the slide.
You can continue, Roddy.
Okay, and basically what we do is I basically go inside of the prisons, whether it be the county level or the state level, and I basically help those individuals who are transitioning back into society find their way, as well as get acclimated to the system once they come home. And we have also a workforce development department, which we can talk about as well too. Once the men or the women come home, they can partake in different job opportunities, as well as resume building, things of that nature, and to be able to establish themselves in their prospective households as well as their communities. And what we find is that by me working with the Man Up Association and the gentlemen who take the 15-week program when they're behind the walls and when they come home, that their success rate is much higher because they are kind of groomed and ready when they do come home.
Right, I think we lost.
Where a lot of the gentlemen can come home and they can interact with those individuals who have been through some of the things that they have been through, as well as workshops, self-esteem workshops, self-care workshops, and things of that nature, as well as job readiness programs. And also we have vouchers that we provide them, whether they might need their haircuts and even dress for business. We have those type of vouchers for them, and we provide them with clothes as well too when they go on interviews. So it's like the best of both worlds for me, so to speak, because I get to help the men come home, and I get to also motivate them. Me being a returning citizen myself, I know some of the things that they would need, toiletries, things of that nature, just to keep them in that positive mind frame, as well as help them to understand that there is life after incarceration. Thank you.
Thank you, Roddy, and thank you for that presentation. Next presenter we'll have is Trooper Chen from the Pennsylvania State Police. You have to unmute yourself, sir.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you well.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm Trooper Chen with the Pennsylvania State Police. I want to thank everyone at the DA's office to make this possible. We are currently hiring for trooper position, and application period is currently open. Any interested person can visit our website at www.patrooper.com and click apply now to begin the application process. Now, our process is fairly straightforward. As explained on our website, we start with the application written examination, followed by overboard interview. Once you score high enough to be on the cutoff list, we will continue with polygraph, background investigation, medical review, and psychological evaluation, and finally, physical fitness test. The overall selection process usually takes about a year or so to complete, from the written test all the way to the physical fitness test. And once a candidate is successfully complete all the selection process, we will invite them to our State Police Academy for 26 weeks of training at Hershey, PA. There's no fee to apply and to participate in the process. We will absorb all the costs. An applicant, once they are in the academy for training, prior to graduation, they will have opportunity to choose up to 3 troop locations of their choice based on the vacancy posting. We do have numerous career opportunities for troopers. Once you have 3 years on the job and there's a vacancy posting for that specialty position that actually interests you, you may put in for it. We do encourage all the troopers to take advantage of that. As for salaries and benefit, our current starting salary is around $62,000 plus full medical benefits, which will cover your independent up to age 26. We also offer a study guide to help applicants to prepare for a written test and oral interview. Anyone that has questions, please feel free to reach out to me. My cell phone is on the website at 717-614-7958. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Trooper. Our next presenter is one of our community stakeholders and faith leaders from Philadelphia, who will just present briefly for a minute, Dr. Clarence Wright from Love Zion Baptist Church. Dr. Wright, you can unmute yourself and come on to the screen.
Good afternoon, everybody. I don't have any jobs to present, so I'm going to get out of your way for those who do, but I just wanted to come and give a brief word of encouragement and hope, and a word of thanks to this DA's office, to G. Lamar Stewart, and of course our DA, Larry Krasner, who continue to put on these events and even now have adapted to do it virtually. I think we need this more than ever now at this time, and it is comforting to know that we have a DA's office that does not just prosecute and lock people up, but is actually invested in the kind of activities that can actually prevent crime. And we truly believe that economic empowerment is the strongest tool that we can use to decrease crime in our community. So just want to let everyone know we're praying for you on behalf of the Philly clergy community. We love you, and we're certainly hoping that you can benefit from these services that are being offered. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Wright. Appreciate that very much, sir. Our next presenter will be Carmen Coleman from Kelly Services. Carmen, you can unmute yourself and also your screen. Come on.
There, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Carmen.
Okay. All right. My name is Carmen Coleman, and I'm from Kelly. We are actually hiring for quite a few different positions. I'll go with the Philadelphia School District staffing the substitutes.
Carmen, we're going to come back to you. I don't know if it's the area that you're in, but there's some bad service. We'll come back to you on the next presentation. If you can just get into an area where perhaps your service is a bit better. Our next presenter will be from PAN, Corinne Cannon from Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, who is one of our social service providers today. Thank you for being on.
Thank you for having me. Good afternoon. So I am the career employment specialist for PAN, and it is the Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violent Network. We are basically here to service the community in terms of participants coming back home from, incarceration. So our job is my job mainly is to assist them in finding trainings and also employment resources. So if you go to the next slide, it basically just gives you a quick summary as to who we are and what we do. As I stated, we assist in helping to prevent any violence in the city by helping participants who are on the cusp of possibly being incarcerated and those who come home from incarceration. We provide a wide range of assistance. We assist with anger management, drug and alcohol counseling, GED and high school equivalency assistance. And in my field, I am the one who provides them, again, with the training and the employment resources. So if anyone knows how hard it is to try to find adequate employment for those who are coming home from incarceration, they would basically come to me so that I can assist them in finding that right job or right position for them. I'm also the one that assists them with possible training opportunities, which is one of the best ways to get them into a career, is to obviously go back to school for some form of trade or even possibly college if that is something that they're interested in. In terms of what the gentleman was talking about for SEPTA, we provide assistance with providing them with adequate resume support. So if they don't have a resume, if they never created a resume, if they need to update their resume, then they would come to me and I would assist them in making sure that their resume is up to par to apply for different positions within the area or within the city as a whole. Okay, so the last slide, it just provides my information. You have my cell phone number, my office number, fax number, the website, so you can find out even more information about PAN, and also my email, which you can just email me any questions, comments, any concerns that you may have. If you have any participants who are looking for any information about trainings or even possible employment opportunities, they don't have to be a part of our program for me to assist them. You can provide them also with that information, and I will do my best to service them.
Thank you so much, Corinne, and please our hellos to Mr. George Mosey. The next presenter is Kristen Davis from Salvation Army Work Tech Program, who's one of our social service providers. Thank you so much, Kristen, for being on, and your slides are ready to go.
Thank you, Lamar, and again, thank you for having Salvation Army. I oversee workforce development for the Salvation Army of Philadelphia, and our Work Tech program essentially is our workforce development program, and it is centered around technology. So within this program, if we could go to the next slide, within our program, when we say it's centered around technology, we're educating students, adult students, in the form of telecom. So they're learning telecommunications, which you can see in the slide. They're learning about broadband systems and connectivity systems. It's a very hands-on program. It's 2 days a week, and it is tuition free. The Salvation Army pays for each student's tuition coming into the program. We all know how important learning technology is and how lucrative that is, lucrative industry that it is. So students coming in, you gain a better understanding of power over Ethernet. And also we've been hearing a lot about the Internet of Things, which we also educate students on as well. It's a certified program. So students coming in and completing the program successfully, they earn their Big C Telecom certification, which is an industry recognized and well-known certification within technology. The classes are 12 to 15 weeks long. When students come in, it's like they're really having 3 classes within one. So you're coming in and you're learning telecom, but in addition to that, we have our life skills, which essentially is career readiness. And we also teach our students math. A little bit on our career readiness, on our life skills portion. That part of the program is really what makes the program successful overall, because within that program, we're providing students with self-confidence builders in the form of networking events and workshops with different employers. Students have the opportunity to actually have conversations and have lunch, sit down and have lunch with employers. So we remove that intimidation out of the interviewing and networking process. We assist students with resume writing. We also may take students on field trips that are going to be centered around technology as well within the program. And also students receive additional assistance in terms of Salvation Army. We have our family thrift stores around the city. So if students need clothing for their families, we provide them with vouchers. If students need clothing for interviews, we work with Career Wardrobe. Also, if students need transportation assistance, with most students do, getting back and forth to class and even back and forth to their jobs, we assist them with that as well. If a student is coming into the program and say they have been out of the workforce for quite some time, while they're in the program, we will also provide them with a part-time job while they're in the program for those 12 to 15 weeks. And then after they successfully complete the program, that's when we begin working on job placement within the technology industry. Next slide that we're looking at, this is just some of the companies that we have placed students with and that we work with. CTDI of Westchester. If you're familiar with CTDI, they are a very large engineering firm. We've placed students there. We have placed students with Verizon, Qualtech, which was a telecom company in King of Prussia, and also a subcontractor of Comcast. We've also placed students with Comcast as well. The Fresh Grocer, we will work with Fresh Grocer. Again, when I was talking about a part-time job, again, if a student is coming in and they're light on work experience, they haven't worked in quite some time and they would like a job while they're in the program, coming to class, we will place them. One of the places that we may place them with is Fresh Grocer. Network Design Technologies, that's a company that we work with quite a bit, where students can go there for internship opportunities within telecommunications. And then usually after they complete a 3-month internship with Network Design Technologies, that student will be hired. But for the most part, I think I gave pretty much enough on the program. We don't just do telecom as well. If people want to come in and enroll in WorkTech, we also have CDL training in the form of doing school bus driving and doing van driving. We have a partnership with a transportation company within the city, and we also have a partnership with a home healthcare company within the city as well. If anyone is coming in and they want to do home healthcare, also the Salvation Army internally, we have our own home healthcare as well, where we work with disabled people. And so we're always hiring. And again, people, again, if they don't want to do that technology piece, they can always come in and either do the CDL or they can do home healthcare as well. Now, we currently are accepting applications. The next class for our telecommunications training, it begins August 24th. Things are going to slightly change with the program. Normally is 2 days a week. We are going to change things due to COVID-19. So students will be going to class partially online within our virtual classroom. And if we are able to, partially physically coming to class 1 day per week. If anyone is interested in enrolling within the program, we are also doing an open house next week. Some of the employers that we work with, some of our employer partners will also be part of that open house. So if anyone is interested in coming to our open house virtually, please feel free to get in contact with me. Once we accept your application, you also have to take a test to be submitted into the program as well in terms of an assessment with math.
Thank you so much, and we appreciate your presentation, Kristen. Thank you for all you do. Our next presenter is Natasha Moore from Philadelphia Gas Works. And you can unmute yourself, Natasha.
Okay, I'm unmuted. Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining and participating this afternoon. I just wanted to give a general overview of PGW and some of the disciplines that we offer positions in. So I've been with the company for about 10 years or so. My title is an associate business partner, which is just kind of a fancy name for an HR recruiter. You can click to the next slide, please. This is just a general overview, little info about PGW. We're the largest municipally owned gas utility in the nation, and we service over about 500 customers. Next slide, please. Now, I didn't want to list specifically some of the positions that we are currently recruiting for because they're ever changing. So I more so detailed some of the positions that we offer specific disciplines in. So we have our construction and laborers, HVAC helpers, accounting and finance, engineering, information technology, and there are other areas. We are a union shop, so many of our laboring positions do fall under union covered positions. I just want to give a couple of facts about those because those are our more heavily application volume for those particular positions. So requirements for those jobs, typically you must be 18 years of age, you must have a valid Pennsylvania driver's license as well as a high school diploma. We do look for you to have some experience in the area, at least a year to 2 years. If you're going to be HVAC, we're looking for you to have some sort of HVAC experience, whether it be an apprenticeship or some type of official certification. If you're going to be working in more of the construction area, working in have worked as a construction apprentice or under some type of labor or union. For our management positions, most of them, they do require some higher level degrees geared more specifically to what the requirements of the job are. Full detailed job descriptions for all of our available positions can be found on our website, which is pgworks.com/careers. You can click to the next slide, please. Okay. If interested in applying, you would visit, again, our pgworks.com/careers website. You'd find a position that you are interested in applying for or interested in just getting more information about. You would click on that specific opportunity. You would then be prompted to create a profile within our system through our applicant tracking. With this profile, this is where you would be able to go in and maintain your profile information. So I just want to reiterate how important it is to make sure that your contact information is consistently up to date, whether it be your phone number or email address. Much of our correspondence is done via phone or via email. Generally, we recruit for our entry-level positions, the laborers that I mentioned earlier, throughout the year. Because we get such a high volume of applications for those particular positions, we have a rule of thumb that if you haven't heard anything from us within about 6 months or so, you would want to either reapply for the position or go in and update your application. And if you're someone that frequents the website, you'll be able to notice that it'll be different requisition numbers with those positions, but they are posted quite a few times throughout the year. As far as the HR hotline, that's more of an action you would take after you have already applied for a position. So we monitor this hotline. It will take you directly to an answering service. You would leave your number, your information, your inquiry, and then we do check that on a weekly basis. It takes, I would say, give us about a week or so to respond to any inquiries. Most people call that line just wanting to check the status of their application or get general information about any positions that may be up and coming. And that is all I have for you today.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Appreciate all that you do. Our next presenter is Ivory Scott from Urban Affairs Coalition.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ivory Scott. I am the Human Resource Intern at Urban Affairs Coalition. First, I just want to thank Seth and his team for giving us the opportunity to speak with you all today. And to give you a little bit of background on the Urban Affairs Coalition, UAC is a nonprofit organization that unites government, business, neighborhoods, and individual initiatives to improve the quality of life in the greater Philadelphia region, build wealth in the urban communities, and solve emerging issues. UAC is a provider of professional and supportive services to enhance organizational operations. As a fiscal sponsor, UAC provides 501c3 status and a capacity building service such as risk management, financial management, compliance, human resources, and professional development to our 80+ nonprofit partners so they can focus on mission delivery and bold new initiatives. UAC drives change in communities through programs and policies, focusing on the opportunities that matter most in the communities UAC serves. Some of our partners are SELF, One Day at a Time, Philadelphia Anti-Drug, Anti-Violence Network, Summer Youth Employment, and many more. UAC major programs and initiatives help to improve the lives of over 250,000 low to middle income residents in the greater Philadelphia region. Having 80+ programs partners, there's always a job opportunity at the Urban Affairs Coalition. We offer full-time, part-time, and seasonal positions, and some of those include residential aid, safety liaison, security guard, case manager, youth program specialist, program manager, and those are just the list that I was able to fit on the slides. So currently UAC has more than 500 full and part-time employees working in the greater Philadelphia region. So I encourage you all to visit our website and check out the job opportunities tab to view all the current open positions we have. You can also explore our program partners page if you would like to learn more information about their direct impact in the community. If you have any follow-up questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And I just want to thank you all for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Scott. And please send our hellos to Mr. Arun Prabhakaran.
Of course.
So our next presenter is Jamie Tomlinson from the Philadelphia Inquirer. You can unmute yourself, Jamie.
All right, thank you. So my name is Jamie, and I'm a talent acquisition manager at the Philadelphia Inquirer. You may have heard of us before. We're the third oldest continuously operating daily newspaper in the country and the largest for-profit U.S. newspaper organized under nonprofit ownership. We've been around for 191 years, but we don't look a day over 21. And truly, it feels like a startup at sometimes. We're an iconic organization with 23 Pulitzer Prizes, with our newsroom located in Center City, Philadelphia, and our printing plant in Conshohocken. Working at the Inquirer opens up an incredible opportunity to grow beside and learn from a highly accomplished team that's responsible for keeping its legacy and local journalism alive. We are both digital and print and investing heavily in our digital future. What I find really cool about working for the Inquirer is that there's a certain passion that's shared across the entire organization, that it unites so many people that it takes to bring the news to the page, screen, and beyond. It's a chance to invent, imagine, and build completely new digital products, platforms, and visual methods of storytelling. Being part of an organization where everyone, no matter what role you play at a company, is driven by the same mission, which is to get great journalism out to the people of Philadelphia, is just such a cool and unique experience. Right now, we're hiring for a couple of different roles across our organization, and we'll be opening more opportunities over the next few months. So I'll share a little bit detail about the 4 that we have posted now. But if there's not a perfect fit right now and you're interested in being part of our team, I recommend going to our careers page, which is inquirer.com/careers, and applying to our general application. This will allow us to keep your resume on file for future opportunities. So you can see the 4 opportunities we have listed here. The first one is our senior product manager. So that sits on our digital product team. This is someone that's been a technical product manager for over 5 years, and somebody from a journalism background is definitely preferred. We also have a deputy business editor position open. So this is a very senior position as well. That's editorial, and we'll have about 10 direct reports in the newsroom to them. Then we have our route sales driver. So this is a part-time position. And this person will drive one of our, one of our newspaper trucks. to our customers that buy our paper in bulk for excuse me, sorry, for convenience stores like 7-Eleven, et cetera. And then we also have our newspaper carrier position. This is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week operation. So our employees in this role, they play a really important part of getting the newspaper out early in the morning. So typically you would work 7 days a week, part-time, about 1 to 3 hours, depending on the size of the route you have. But it's great for people that just need like a part-time job in the morning because it really doesn't interfere with most other operations that you would be working in. And there's a ton of room for growth too. So if you prove yourself to be reliable and a hardworking employee, there's extra opportunity for extra money and extra growth in the company. You must have your own car for that role. So as I mentioned earlier, if none of these opportunities are a fit and you still want to be a part of the team, head to inquirer.com/careers and apply to our general application. And if you have any questions, definitely feel free to email careers@inquirer.com. That goes right to our recruiting team, and we'll be sure to answer any questions you have for us. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much, Jamie. We're going to go back up for 1 second to Carmen Coleman from Kelly Services. Carmen, are you still with us?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, your slides are up, ma'am.
Okay, very good. Okay, so welcome, Kelly. That's Kelly Education. We are actually staffing the Philadelphia School District with substitute teachers, classroom assistants, food service workers, clerical, school nurses, just to name a few of the positions we have available. We've actually been doing this for the last few years. The requirements for this position, they vary depending on which one that you're interested in. The substitute teacher is a minimum requirement of a bachelor's degree. And the school nurse does require that you are a registered nurse for the state of Pennsylvania. But if you could, we'll move on to the next slide. I want to give you some information about Kelly Services and just a little bit more about us. So we actually, we fill at least 3.2 million classrooms a year globally. We partner with over 8,655 schools throughout 35 states. There's 1,265 school district programs successfully implemented to date. And we handle over 36,000 absences a year. We have a 24-hour incident management team. So just to go over, kind of touch on a little bit about Kelly. We've been around, like I said, for 75 plus years. So if you could move on to the next slide, where I was kind of going over some of the positions that are available. Substitute teacher, of course, as I said, it's a minimum requirement of the bachelor's degree. Although your background does not have to necessarily be in education, because we do provide a lot of training for our subs. So a lot of classroom management training, a lot of different training programs that you go through before actually coming all the way through to being a teacher. We are actively hiring, and we are placing people as early as mid-August. So school will start mid-August, and we're looking at a 70-30 ratio as far as, in classroom or online or virtual as of now. That's subject to change due to the pandemic, but right now we're looking at 70% in class and 30% online. So the classroom assistant, of course, that's all wrapped up into SSA and a teaching assistant. They're all kind of under the same thing, same window. Special ed, one-to-one, all that rolls up into the same thing. You could move on to the next slide. Then there's the food service position. Climate staff kind of rolls up under food service. A climate staff position is a hall monitor, lunchroom aide. Okay. And then of course, food service kind of speaks for itself, preparation, serving, cleanup, and things like that. We also provide a lot of training for that as well, if your background has not been in those areas. And secretary, of course, is school secretary, clerical positions as well. And I guess that kind of wraps it up. If you can move on to the last slide. If you have any questions or concerns, feel free to give me a call, email me. The best way to apply actually would to go our website, which is www.teachkidsnow.com, or you can feel free to email me your resume and I'll reach out to you as well. Everything, as you know, is moving into automation. So yeah, you would just upload your resume there, or you could email me your resume as well. Okay, I think I might have covered everything.
Thank you so much for your time, and we appreciate your commitment to One Stop Job Resource Hub. You've been with us from the beginning, so thank you so much, Carla.
No problem.
Our next presenter and the last presenter for this first block is Reverend Myra Maxwell, who is the Executive Director for the DAO Cares program here at the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office. Reverend Maxwell, glad to have you on.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, I'm Myra Maxwell, and I am the Director of Philadelphia Cares at the District Attorney's Office. CARES is actually an acronym for Crisis Assistance, Response, and Engagement for Survivors of Homicide. We are one of the newer programs started in 2018 at the District Attorney's Office, and we are actually a program that's never been done out of a prosecutor's office. So we are a model program, and we're very excited to have this program started, but certainly not under the auspices of all of the homicide losses that we've experienced in Philadelphia. We are a staff of 16, and we all have lived experience. We all have experienced the loss of a family member or a friend to homicide here in the city of Philadelphia. And many of us have been working and supporting families for a long time. Our crisis responders are called peer crisis responders because they do have lived experience and they're able to work with the families to provide services and support. We provide trauma-informed support to our families. We provide that service either at the hospital, on the scene of a crime, or at the medical examiner's office. Again, we provide support immediately in the aftermath. We're a crisis response program, so we're responding immediately. As soon as we're notified by the police department, we're able to go out to that scene and make contact with that family there or wherever the family is thereafter, which means it could be a hospital setting or even at the medical examiner's office when they have to do an identification. We are currently working with several other programs. So we provide all of our services, again, are provided in collaboration with our community-based partners. So part of our role is to make sure that we stay with the families to help them navigate the criminal justice system if there's an arrest in the case, or if they have to work with police departments, we make sure that we're there to support them through that process. We also make sure that we secure services and supports, which means that we can give them services for counseling and refer them to the agencies that provide such services. Many of the services in Philadelphia are offered within their own community, so we try to identify the resources that suit them and are closer to where they live. If we have families that have language barriers, we are also able to provide interpretation services for them and translation services. We also make sure that we work with them through Crime Victims Compensation, which is a program that supports funeral expenses for families who've experienced a homicide death. So we help them to get those services, to obtain those services, and make sure that they're working with the appropriate agencies. We provide emergency support for families because the families sometimes have emergency food needs in the immediate aftermath of a homicide death. So we're there to provide those types of support for our families as well. One of the things that we really have been doing lately is working with our youth and our children, because in families, if there's a homicide death, there are usually children involved in those families. So we're able to now, with the consent of the family and the parents, we're able to contact the schools, because schools are often left out of the information when the homicide occurs. So we are there to make sure that we're supporting our young people, our children during this process. So the children are provided services as well, but we also notify the schools and work with the schools that they attend. So the counseling or the leaders of that school are aware of the homicide loss. Of course, this is trauma and it will last sometimes for a long period of time. So we want to make sure that all the supports are in place. All of the services that we provide are free. They're at no charge to the family. And we will provide services to anyone that's a co-victim of that homicide. Co-victim meaning it could be an immediate family member, it could be friends, it could be neighbors, it could be someone that, a teacher, or someone that person who was killed has a relationship or had a relationship with. So our services are extended out to those families as well. We do work with, again, many of our survivor-led organizations and our community-based partners, which we have numerous partners here in the city of Philadelphia, and we make sure that all of our services are provided to the family as needed. And this is on a case-by-case as a case by case. So what we also do is we have service since our inception. We started in 2018, but we actually started providing crisis response in 2019, January the 1st. Since then, we have actually serviced over 600 family members and friends that have received services from CARES, as well as been referred out to other longer term supports. So our crisis response is up to about 45 days, 60 depending on the case. And then we again send those families to be referred. We refer them to the other agencies that provide more longer term support. So we do work with PAN, Mothers in Charge, EMIR, and various other organizations within the city. Within our own office, we do have a victim service unit. So if there is an arrest in the case, we work extremely closely with our victim service unit to make sure that they're provided services through the court process. So if you have any questions for me, please feel free to reach out to us. We hope that you won't have a lot of questions. And we hope that if you do encounter someone that may need supports and services, you can reach out to us. My email is myra.maxwell@phila.gov, and my phone number is also listed. Thank you for your time.
Reverend Maxwell, thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you for all that you and your team do for our city and for the district attorney's office. We're going to continue on. Just before we go into our next block of presenters, wanted to thank again all of our presenters from the first block for being on and for presenting today. You can stay on and continue with us, or if you want to log off, we totally understand. Thank you so much for, again, your commitment to providing opportunities for residents of Philadelphia in this entire area. And so we're going to prepare to move forward with our next set of presenters. We have several Northeast Building Products, Einstein Healthcare Network, Urban League of Philadelphia, the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office Victim Services Unit, Pennsylvania CareerLink, Philadelphia Lawyers for Social Equity, Always Best Care Senior Services, in the Department of Revenue. That's our next set, and then we have a third set as well. So with that being said, we're going to prepare to go to our next presenter from Northeast Building Products, Mr. Mark Thompson. Thank you for being on, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Stewart, for having us. On behalf of Alan Levin, Fran Levin, our CEO and executive vice president of the company. I sit here as the employee engagement manager for the company, and we're actually in our area. We have 3 different sites. We're in Northeast Philadelphia. We also have a site at Rising Sun and Adams, and then we have our final site, which is our newest site, which is in Bensalem. Currently, we have about 700 employees that work for us, but we're also in 14 different states as well. So we have an opportunity to have an impact, and or if the family wants to pick up and move to a different part of the country, and we have a position in that particular state, then we are definitely supporting that. Right now, our company has been in business for about 45 years. We have a list of current openings here. These particular positions are at our Chew site, which is at Rising Sun and Chew. I did not add the Bensalem site or the Aramingo site, because our Chew site is where we're kind of guiding people to see if we can get that site up and running in terms of filling it up, because we do have some positions that are available right now. What we do is we make windows and doors. We produce them internally, and then we pass those on, and we try to support our area. What I really like about having an opportunity to partner with, if you're looking for a job, is that what we do is our mission is we really focus on our #1 core value, which is family. We are a second chance company, so if CEO likes to really talk about and focus on not necessarily on your past, but on where you are now. So having an opportunity to come in, not really focus on what happened in your past, is what can you do now to support you and your family we're willing to partner with you in that venture. Some of our positions right now that are currently available are production associates, forklift operators, quality assurance technicians, and material handling. Those positions, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Sorry, Mrs. Stewart. If you've had some experience in handling a forklift, then feel free to come on over. We also have positions that aren't necessarily listed here, but we have driver positions, local drivers, as well as drivers that go across the country that are used to driving the big boys out to Colorado and or Texas and Florida and different places that we do have our satellites. And Northeast Building Products is a really good place to partner up. If you want to try to build a career, try to establish yourself, and then try to move up into different positions within our company. We've actually had an opportunity to partner up with a bigger group, which is called the Harvey Group. We now, as a group, have over 5,000 employees that work with us. So we're part of a larger group in addition to the positions that we do have in our area. We can go to the final slide here. If you need to apply, please apply online, mbpwindows.com. You can email your resume to hrassistant@mbpmail.com. Obviously, we look forward to working and partnering with you. What I would like for you to do, if you're really interested in partnering with the company, is to add on your application that you actually had an opportunity to speak with me through this particular venue and working with Mr. Stewart here in the DA's office. And then I'll talk to you a little bit about, we also have a referral bonus that, we would like to, share, so you can then get that word out to other family and friends that might need an opportunity to partner with a really good company. Okay? You guys have a great day. I appreciate listening to all of the presentations so far. You guys have been awesome. And I look forward to hearing from those who are interested in partnering up with Northeast Building Products. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you so much, Mark. And please send our hellos to Al and his wife. Our next presenter, just before we go to our next employer, we have on with us another community and faith leader, Dr. Kevin R. Johnson from the Dare to Imagine Church. We're going to ask Dr. Johnson to unmute himself. If all our other presenters will ask you, our other presenters, to make sure they're muted. But Dr. Johnson, if you can unmute yourself, and we appreciate you being on.
Thank you. I appreciate all the work that you do, Reverend Stewart, your team, and of course, what DA Krasner has done for the city and his team. I really want to encourage all who are on this call and who are individuals who are seeking employment. I want you to know that even in the midst of this COVID-19 season, that this is going to be a winning season for you. I share that with you because it's during this period that we learn to be creative. And I really applaud the DA's office and using technology to reach all of you. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to know that there's a whole team of people in this city who are working behind the scenes to make sure that you will do extremely well. And I'll share this with you, that I remember an organization I used to run here in the city called Philadelphia OIC. When I arrived there, it only had one workforce development program. By the time I left, it had a multitude of workforce programs, not just beyond in hospitality, but we started a school. And I share that with you because it's in the midst of crisis that really ingenuity really begins to flourish. And so I want you to keep your head up. I want you to keep applying. And I want you to, in the words of Adam Clayton Powell Jr., the late Congressman of Harlem, I want you to keep the faith. Because Pastor Stewart and so many are part of his team, they're working very hard. And I know that many of you are going to land an awesome job and you're going to begin new careers, and that you will be on the other side of this table and you'll be helping people because you know what it's like when somebody helped you. So be encouraged, and thanks so much for this opportunity to speak to you and to encourage you.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Please send our greetings to Dare to Imagine and to First Lady Kinga.
Yes, sir.
Our next presenter is Tracy, Tracy K. I'm not going to struggle with that. Tracy from Einstein Healthcare Network, and I believe Nicole is on as well. You both can unmute yourself as you prepare to present.
Hi, everybody. It's just Tracy Kadzera. Nicole's not with us today. So I am Einstein's recruitment team lead. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about opportunities we currently have available and about our locations. So Einstein Hospital or Einstein Healthcare Network consists of the main hospital in Einstein, Broad and Olney, which everyone is probably familiar with. And then we have Einstein and Elkins Park, which is about 10-15 minutes down the road from Philadelphia. We also have Einstein Medical Center Montgomery Hospital that opened in 2012. And then we have physician practices located all throughout Philadelphia and Montgomery County. So what are we hiring for? That is like the most just always asked question at a job fair, always. We hire anything and everything that makes the hospital tick. So on the slide, you could see 3 positions that I just used as examples of things that we're currently hiring for. We have nursing assistant for Moss Rehab, comprehensive rehab unit. That's a position at Einstein at Elkins Park. Moss Rehab is a nationally recognized medical rehab facility, inpatient and outpatient. Then we have a health unit coordinator, which is another good example in an emergency department at Philadelphia. And then protective service officer positions at Philadelphia. Normally, Einstein has a little over 500 positions open at any given time. Unfortunately, at this time, we have about 250, 275 positions since around March. We are really, our main focus right now is our clinical frontline type positions, whether it be non-clinical like a protective service officer, but people that are in close contact with people and really serving the hospital. We also have positions like lab workers. We have anything from medical secretaries, administrative assistants, coders, housekeepers, food service workers. It's a pretty good variety of different types of positions that have a variety of different experience that we're looking for. If you're interested in a position with Einstein, as always, the best place to go is straight to our website, which is www.einstein.edu/careers. All of our positions are located on the website. You could always find our positions listed on Indeed as well, or LinkedIn. But it's a good idea to check our website often as positions open up. One of my tips would definitely be to apply to positions quickly as soon as they come up. We get a lot of applications for a lot of our jobs. We could see hundreds of applications. So a lot of our recruiters, we actually all do make sure that we go through resumes in the order that they're received. So definitely being one of the first people to apply to a position would definitely give you a good foot in the door. Like I said, again, at this time, we are really focusing on our clinical positions, but as our elective surgeries start back up again, you're going to see a lot more positions reopening, like medical assistants, patient service representative type positions, the housekeepers, the food service workers, all those types of positions that are supporting elective surgeries at this time. What else? Ways to find us. Normally we do a lot of like in-person, face-to-face job fairs. We're trying to minimize that, but we're always putting information out on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter. You could always write to us at recruitment@einstein.edu. Those are probably the best ways to follow us, to find us, to apply to a position. Any questions, just reach out to us at that email and we'll definitely get back to you. And that's it. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the future. But for now, definitely make sure that you're going onto the website. We are doing interviews. A lot of the interviews right now are phone interviews or Zoom interviews like we're doing now. So it's a really good opportunity to do something like this, to experience a Zoom call. That is definitely something you might experience in the future if you're interviewing at Einstein.
Thank you so much, Tracy.
No problem.
Our next presenter is from the Urban League of Philadelphia, we're so glad today to have with us Mr. Dennis Nicholson from the Urban League of Philadelphia.
All right. Thank you for letting me be a part of this. And I'm going to say a lot in a short period of time, hopefully to excite you about what we do, as well as get you reignited and excited about all you do and offer to individuals that are looking for employment. Those who attended church, I'm sure can remember the verse, grow not weary in well-doing, for in due season you shall reap if you faint not. That's my daily motivation and reason for working within the Urban League of Philadelphia. And specifically, my reason for being engaged in seeking fair and an open door for men and women affected by poverty, racism, and incarceration. So on behalf of the Urban League of Philadelphia and our CEO, Andrea Custis, we first want to thank the District Attorney's Office for sponsoring this program, and of course for all of that you're doing to bring justice, peace, and equality to all of our cities' communities. Next, we would like to thank the vendors that are present. I do hope to get all of your contact information. I've been trying to write it all down for being open-minded to see that there is a need to hire qualified people with and without a background, and for opening your hearts to realize that people not only deserve a second chance, but you should also give them a second chance to become productive members of society, to both their families and to the community. I can remember hearing a preacher, and yeah, I went to a lot of church services, saying when I was a child, I thought, spoke, and understood as a child, but when I became a man, I put away childish things. Many of those people that are returning from home, they paid their price to society, and they put away those childish things, childish ways of thinking, acting, and speaking, and now they're ready to become responsible men and women to give back to society rather than taking away from them, contributing to their households rather than being a burden, and making their communities better rather than making them more fearful. From our slide, here you can see that our mission is defined by the ABCs: advocacy and policy, business and talent diversity, community and economic development. The mission of the Urban League is a Herculean effort because it encompasses every dark area of society. And we work tirelessly, grow not weary, to bring light to the inequities, injustices, and shortcomings our society, specifically here in Philadelphia, has placed on people and communities affected by poverty, racism, and incarceration. The Urban League of Philadelphia, we're a nonpartisan, nonprofit organization. We've been around since 1910, and we were and continue to be committed to advancing civil rights, social justice, and economic opportunities for African Americans, Latinos, and other underrepresented Philadelphians. We reach approximately 15,000 children. Presently, we're sponsoring a summer breakfast and lunch feeding program for over 5,300 children at 22 different sites across the city, as well as sponsoring a host of other programs for youth and families each year. Our daily work provides access to employment, education, entrepreneurship, housing, and health and wellness. Our programs are innovative and they're always partnered. And I emphasize this again, working to support and empower vulnerable communities affected by poverty and racial inequities. Briefly, I want to applaud the vendors on this virtual one-stop job and resource hub today. It's important and necessary that employers look at those returning to society as a vital resource for good, faithful, and deserving employees. It's also vital and important that you and I help others, growing not weary, to get involved in giving these men and women opportunities of employment after serving their time, to give back to the communities they harmed, the families they deserted, and to begin rebuilding their own life, which one time they took for granted. The Urban League of Philadelphia, we do sponsor a reentry program called Out for Good. We chose to invest in this reentry program because we have the ability to advocate for civil rights and justice and create a space of genuine care and support for those returning back to our society. The first cohort of our Out for Good program launched in May 2020 with 10 participants. It completed in June with 100% enrollment completed the program. 30% have been placed in jobs, and we are working on placing the remaining participants in positions, hopefully with some of you vendors on the call today. Our Out for Good program is unique. We take in consideration that reintegration can be deterred not only systemic inequalities, but also interpersonal challenges. As our Out for Good program continues to succeed, we are seeking to enroll over 120 more individuals and graduate a minimum of 102 and place at least 87 into jobs. This last slide on our PowerPoint presentation shows our contact information. But before I leave, again, I do hope the vendors attending this virtual one-stop would contact me or allow me to have all of your contact information so that we can team up to provide training and employment to the qualified men and women that have returned home, took time to complete our program, and now are ready to stay out for good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for your time. Our next presenter is our very own Director of Victim Services here at the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office, Ms. Keziah Cameron.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Keziah.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for coming out. My name is Keziah Cameron. I am the Director of Victim Services at the District Attorney's Office. I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit about us, and I'm grateful to Lamar and the group at Community Engagement for giving us this opportunity. I've been with the DA's office for 17 years in victim services all of that time, and we are excited to service the community of Philadelphia and excited about the opportunity to bring some of what we do to you. So the mission of the DA's office, Victim Services, is to basically be the person for the victim or witness to be their voice from the point of arrest through the disposition of the case, meaning that we let you know what's going on, we talk to you about what you'd like to see happen, we assist you with any issues that you have and make sure that you are comfortable with what is going on with something that ultimately affects you in a very difficult situation. Sorry. All right. I won't go into the very technical definition of a victim, but a lot of people, when they think of victims, just think of the person that the crime happened to. But coming from the community that we come from, most of you know that just because a person was not directly related to you doesn't mean that you were not affected by the crime or what happened. So when we talk about victims and witnesses, when we talk about their rights, it's just important to know that that is not just defined by someone who is legally related or the next of kin, if it's a homicide or a non-fatal. Go to the next slide. These are just some of the services that we provide our victims and witnesses when they are coming to court. During the pandemic, the first one has been a huge thing, notification services, right? Because nobody really knows what's going on. Everybody is learning, things are changing. And so just being available to notify victims and witnesses constantly about what's going on with their case, if there's a new listing, what's going to happen, just being available for that, providing transportation, interpreter services if English is not your first language, or even if you're just more comfortable with a different language. Accompaniment to court. Some people like to bring their own friends and family, and some people may not have friends and family to bring, and we are that person that will come with you if you need it. Restitution and victim impact statements. A lot of people don't know this, but victims have the right at the time of sentencing to address the judge and let them know how a crime has affected them. Also community members, again, not just direct victims, but anyone who was affected by a crime has the right to express at the time of sentencing how that has affected their life. Property return, victim witness fees, it's a little less than what you get when you're on jury duty, but it belongs to you and we advocate for you to get it at the end of the trial. Bedside and preservation hearings, when we have elderly victims or witnesses, or we have victims and witnesses who are so infirm that they can't get out of bed, we assist in setting up a preliminary hearing for that. We also have 2 secure waiting rooms at both justice centers. One at the Criminal Justice Center at 13th and Filbert, and the other one at 1501 Arch, the Family Court. We don't get a lot of arrests for identity theft and fraud, but everyone knows that that is a big thing. So we do provide a lot of resources. If you are suffering from identity theft and fraud, you can contact us and we will walk you through the steps to kind of help you, put that back in order. Servicing special populations and sometimes in cases of victims and witnesses when needed, relocation services. We also worked with several community-based agencies. So when we are not available, when we are unable to assist a victim or a witness, or there's no arrest in the case, and we don't necessarily have the jurisdiction, we always will find the resources to help you, whether it is a community-based agency or some sort of other social service agency that you need assistance with. In addition to VCAP, which is Victims Compensation Assistance Program, and DAVE, which in 7, which is the Inmate Notification Program, we assist victims and witnesses in signing up for both of those as well. I think that is all that I had. I will just say that if you need to contact us, if you have questions or concerns, or you just want any information in regards to anything in DAO Victim Services, or just you want to talk more about what it is that we do, you can give us a call at 215-686-8027, or you can email us at da.victimservices@phila.gov.
Thank you, Kazai. Our next presenter is Scott O'Hara from PA CareerLink.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Scott O'Hara. I'm a business service representative with Pennsylvania CareerLink here in Philadelphia. We are a one-stop hub for job seekers, whether you're receiving cash assistance, you're a veteran, you're just looking for a change in your career. I'm sorry, my dog is jumping on me. We are here to help you out. Despite the COVID-19 crisis, we are still assisting people and we are still open. We are not taking people into our offices, but we are helping people virtually. And then before I continue, I just want to say all of our services are government funded and there is no cost to job seekers or employers. So for job seekers, there's a number of things that we can help you out with. If you've never built a resume or you need to update your resume, we can offer you resume building classes. We can offer you interview prep classes. When we're at normal capacity as well, we have quite a few different classes for using Microsoft Word, getting up to date on how to use a computer, training on how to fill out online applications. As someone said earlier, everything is moving to be automated, so we can give you tips and tricks on how to kind of navigate the online systems. We also have access to hundreds of employers and thousands of job opportunities in the Philadelphia area. Right now, I don't really want to, drop other companies' names, but we are working with a number of manufacturers, distributors, retailers, and healthcare providers to staff their needs. And with that, if you're involved with the CareerLink program, you can get invites to interviews and recruitment events. We are still holding those digitally and online. And then also you can learn about different training programs that we have. We have vocational service programs. We can connect you with on-the-job training with different employers. A lot of different options that we can help you out with. And then for any employers that are on the call as well, there are services that we can provide for you. My department, the business services department, we provide a lot of different options for you. We have access to a large and diverse pool of applicants throughout the city. We have access to the unemployment compensation list so that we can reach out to those people that may have just been let go or laid off and need assistance and are well trained and ready to work. We can do pre-screening of any interested individuals and make sure that they're a good fit for you before you need to interview them. We can also set up and coordinate interviews and recruitment events online or when the offices are back open and in person. And then lastly, we can give you access to funding for on-the-job training, apprenticeships, and other initiatives. Those are kind of the bullet points for what we can provide. But if you go to the next slide, if you are interested at all and you're a job seeker, please go to PACareerLink.phl.org. There is a constantly updated list of employers that are hiring and ways to apply. You can also access the virtual resources that I was speaking of. And if you have any questions or you have any issues navigating the website or just want additional assistance, call the 800 number anytime between 8 and 7. And somebody will be on the call to assist you. And if you're an employer and you're interested in getting involved with CareerLink and see what else we can offer, Wesley Garris is the Business Services Engagement Team Lead. He can be reached at wgarris@PACareerLinkPHL.org, or his phone number there, 267-703-0909. And if you're a community partner actually, and you want to see what else CareerLink can offer, you can reach out to me. My email address is sohara@PACareerLinkPHL.org.
Thank you so much, Scott. Our next presenter is Taylor from Philadelphia Lawyers for Social Equity.
Thanks so much. Can you guys hear me okay?
Cool. Yes, Taylor, we can hear you. Thank you.
My name is Taylor Pacheco. I am a staff attorney with Philadelphia Lawyers for Social Equity, or PULSE. PULSE is a nonprofit legal aid organization. We work to achieve just outcomes for people who've had contact with the criminal justice system to improve opportunities for jobs, for housing, loans for small businesses, or to go back to school, and lots of other things that are made inaccessible by criminal records. Thank you for that. And we do that through advocacy with local government and also with the Pennsylvania Board of Pardons, and also through direct services through which we offer pardons and expungements. And just for a bit of reference and differentiation between those terms, expungements are a legal process that moves through the Philadelphia Court of Common Pleas. They can clear up arrest records and other non-conviction records. Pardons can clear up your entire criminal record, including convictions, but it goes through the Pennsylvania Board of Pardons. We can help you with both of those processes. If you qualify for our services, everything is 100% free. Usually the way that we intake clients is through community clinics, in churches, in rec centers, all over Philadelphia. With the COVID-19 pandemic, we are still taking clients, but now through our online intake process. You can move to the next slide for me. Thank you. So if you want to become a client or you have questions about criminal record clearing, you are welcome to go to pulsephilly.org/intake. There's a form there. You can put in your contact information. You don't need your criminal record. You don't need to know anything about what might be on your record. We'll help you with all of that. But that's the fastest, easiest way to become a client with us. And of course, if you have any questions or you want to reach out, our phone number there is 267-519-5323. And I will also drop my email in the chat if anyone has any questions that they want to direct to me personally. But thank you.
Thank you so much, Taylor. And just as a note, Rayshawn Abdullah, our community engagement liaison, has put your information, contact information into the chat section, as well as all of our presenters today. But thank you so much. Our next presenter is Gerald Mack from Always Best Care Senior Services. Gerald, you can unmute yourself, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Gerald Mack. I'm the Senior Human Resources Manager with Always Best Care. Always Best Care provides senior care service to our to our clients in the Philadelphia area, as well as Lower Bucks County.
Gerald, I'm sorry, if you could speak just a little bit, Gerald, just a little bit.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. Always Best Care Senior Services provides senior care in Philadelphia, Lower Bucks County, and Delaware County, as well as the main line. Of course, our job is to provide warm and compassionate care to the seniors and others that we do service. All of our clients are actually adults. We do not service any children. And here, what we're looking for the most part, is CNAs and caregivers to provide care to our clients in the home. We have a variety of shifts. You can select a flexible shift anywhere from an hour to 24 hours because we do have live-ins. If someone is looking just to work on the weekend or evenings or mornings, we do have a lot of flexible schedules available. Candidates do not need to be certified to work as a CNA or caregiver. They do, however, need to provide proof of PPD and pass a background check. Also, we have 2 office positions open, a third shift file clerk position and a first shift bilingual customer service rep. And that's located in our Philadelphia, South Philly office at Broadway Federal. We are the agency that never sleeps. We're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you do contact us anytime, holidays, weekends, we do answer. Also, we do offer benefits, medical, dental, vision, life insurance, paid time off, and 401k and various referral bonus programs. If anyone is interested in applying online, they can apply at www.teamgreenabc.com and upload their current resume, or they can give us a call here at 267-812-5744. Also, what I have on the screen is various ways you can follow us on social media through Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram.
Thank you so much, Gerald. Our next presenter is Vicki Riley from the Department of Revenue. Vicki, you can unmute yourself.
Yeah, I did. Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. My name is Vicki Riley, and I am the Public Information Officer for the Philadelphia Department of Revenue. Your next slide, please. Now, what is the Department of Revenue? The Department of Revenue collects taxes, water, other fees, and fines that the city used to fund the school district and the city of Philadelphia. So these funds help to support such things as trash collection, snow removal, fire, police, parks, libraries, and many more. So in essence, the Department of Revenue is responsible for collecting money that is owed to the city of Philadelphia. So today I'd like to discuss with you these 3 things. One thing that we have going on right now is that for persons who want to make payments, that they can make an in-person appointment to come into the office and make those payments. Also like to share some information with you about water shutoffs, not only just water, but also some information about taxes and just a little information about the new business payment agreement program. So as most of you know, most city offices are still closed to the general public. But we do want people to know that we are trying to service our taxpayers of the city of Philadelphia. So we are back answering telephones and we are answering our emails. So please feel free to contact us with your questions and your concerns. Yes, so that's it, how you can contact us. So one of the things that we found with many people in MSB is that they like to come into the municipal services building and pay on their taxes. So to those who like to do that, we're still making a way for that to happen. Now, first choice is really for everyone to pay their water bills and their taxes online, but we do understand that sometimes there are people who just want to come in and do it physically. So if that's the case, then you will need to make an in-person appointment to come in and do any face-to-face payments. Now, you can set up this appointment. We have a website. If you go to Philadelphia to Revenue's website at www.phila.gov/revenue, right on our homepage will give you the instructions as to how you can set up an appointment to come in and make a payment. Unfortunately, payments are the only things that we are doing at this point. No other businesses are we doing in person, but persons may still be receiving bills in which they can still pay, and like I say, preferably online. And just another thing for L&I, if someone needs to make an appointment with L&I, they are also doing appointments, and you can visit their website to do that for them. The next thing that we're talking about is water shutoffs. The water department has extended water shutoffs until August the 31st. So the water department and the Water Revenue Bureau have also suspended all penalties and late fees for any unpaid water bills until further notice. So if you're someone who cannot pay your water bill, or you know someone who cannot pay their water bill, or if your family is experiencing a hardship, such as a loss of job, we're encouraging our taxpayers to apply for the Tier Assistance Program with Water Revenue Bureau. So the same thing with water, same with taxes. If someone is unable to pay their taxes, we want you to know to contact us and get into a payment plan. Because as of July the 1st, the city is adding 1.5% to your account for each month that it is not paid. So please, if you have not paid your real estate taxes, please contact us to get into a payment plan. Or if you're someone who has a payment plan, but they've lost their job recently, we want you to also contact us to negotiate a new payment agreement. So businesses, if you know someone who has a business and they need a tax clearance, please contact us about that. And as you can see, the emails that you can contact us on, someone will, we have staff available to answer these emails, and you should hear back from us within 3 days. So the information that I'm telling you can be found on our website. Again, is www.phila.gov/revenue. And one other thing that we're launching is a payment agreement program for businesses that were directly affected by COVID-19. And the one last thing that I want to share with everyone here is that there are 2 real estate tax programs that have a September 13th deadline that is very beneficial to so many of our residents. One is the homestead exemption, and those are for owner-occupied properties. And with that program, you can save up to $629 a year on your real estate taxes. And the only requirement is that you own and live in that property. No age requirements, no income requirements. So we encourage, if there are any new homeowners there, please apply for homestead exemption. The other one that has a September 13th deadline is called the senior tax freeze. And this is for persons who are 65 years or older. Now, there are income guidelines, and you can find that on our website. But for persons who meet the income guidelines, what it does is that it freezes your taxes so that they do not increase. So all of this information that I'm sharing with you, you can find on our website. Please feel free to email us. Here are the email addresses for both taxes and water there. But if you have a question and you just want to contact me directly, please feel free to do so. There's my email address, vicky.riley@phila.gov. So thank you so very much for having me.
Thank you so much, Miss Vicky Riley. Always good seeing you, and thank you for all you do for the city. And we appreciate your kindness and your warm spirit.
Anytime.
Yes, ma'am. So that's our second block. We're moving into our final block, and we thank everyone for their patience. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for your patience, and thank you for your time as we move from the second block into our final block. We have several presenters. Please hold on. And if you can invite someone to come onto the Zoom for this last part of our one-stop job and resource hub, we would appreciate it. Listen, some of you just joined, and we want to thank you for coming on. We are the Philadelphia District Attorney's Office Community Engagement Unit. My name is G. Lamar Stewart. We have Seth Myers and Adriana Bearfield, as well as Rayshawn Abdullah, who also works as part of our community engagement team here. And we've had some amazing presenters thus far. If you want to look in the comment section to see who's already presented, to see their contact information, feel free to do so. But we're going to move forward into our last block of presenters. And thank you to the presenters for your patience. We're going to ask that you please stick to the allotted time that was given for presentation so that we can be a good steward of folks' time. And so that being said, I'm going to ask that one of our community and faith leaders who's with us, Dr. Darren Greenfield from Christ Center Church, will come on just to give a quick word. You can unmute yourself, sir.
There we go. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, first of all, let me say thank you so much to the DAO's office for putting this together. G. Lamar, Seth, I mean, everything from the PowerPoints to the clarity to everybody gathered together. I think that this was, you guys have done an amazing job. Thank you to all the agencies and employees that have spent the time connecting with all the people who need your services or who are looking for work. And thank you for searching for talent in the Philadelphia area, still believing and still going after the people who are in our very own city. And then thank you to the attendees. There's a lot going on in the world, so much going on in the world. And I know so much going on in your life and everybody's life who was on this Zoom call. But somehow you still made it. You were dedicated and purposed and made it, and you should encourage yourself for that. So when this is over, encourage yourself, be glad that you stuck with it and you got it done. Now, some of you today are going to have doors open for you. This is going to be the time where the door opens, the job comes, the assistant comes, and I want you to celebrate that and do a great job and steward that well. But some of you are going to have to try one more time. Maybe the door won't open just yet, but this event is a one-stop event, but it doesn't mean that you just come one time. You continue to come back and get these resources and these services because G. Lamar and his office are putting on for you so you can have these resources from these individuals until you break through the door and get what you need. I am always encouraged when I step on here. I believe that all of you have a purpose and that at the end of the day, this is going to work out for the good of so many people in our city. And I pray that we see transformation because of that. Thank you for having me and letting me be a part of this and continue to do the great and good work that you do. God bless you all.
Thank you, Dr. Greenfield. We appreciate you and all the work that you do in the city, particularly in West Philadelphia. Our first presenter or our next presenter on this third block is Trisha from Wonder Spring Early Education. So glad to have you on, Trisha. You can unmute yourself. Your slides are up.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Oh, okay, great. So I'm from Wonder Spring Early Education, and we were formerly known as Montgomery Early Learning Centers, or MELC. We're a nonprofit. We were established in 1963 to try to meet the unmet needs locally. We started out at one site in Montgomery County, and we've expanded to 10 sites in Montgomery County, but also in Philadelphia. We have a center at 39th and Lancaster. We're opening up another one at 58th and Market, and we have two centers that are right outside of West Philadelphia, right outside the Overbrook section. So what we do is we provide early childhood education, child care centers. We provide school-age programs to over 1,200 children in Philadelphia and Montgomery County. Since March 13th, we had to shut our doors, and all of our teachers and staff moved to work remotely. So we're very proud that we did not lay off any staff, and they continued in our shutdown because, you know, with child care centers, our revenue is driven by tuition. But we did not have to, everyone continued to get their paychecks and as well as receive their benefits. And we just opened our doors June 22nd, and our families are coming back to us. And during the shutdown, we've been working tirelessly to create a plan to reopen safely in following the CDC guidelines. Besides these positions that we have here, we have an accounting and payroll administrator. We're always looking for people who love to work with children as assistant teachers in our child care programs. We're looking for a certified teacher for our pre-K counts program in West Philadelphia. And then we have openings in Pottstown, a leadership opening as assistant director, pre-K counts, lead teacher, assistant teachers. So why come work at Wonderspring? One, we have a tremendous commitment to our staff, as shown in all our work that happened. The childcare community has been really hit hard by the coronavirus, and we really worked hard to remain afloat, to go after the PPP loan, to keep all our staff, getting their paycheck. We offer generous paid time off. We offer comprehensive and affordable medical benefits, dental vision. We offer a 401k retirement savings plan with a substantial employer match, paid life insurance, paid employer paid life insurance, paid short-term, long-term disability. All of our sites are Keystone Star 4, which is the highest rating that we can get. And we offer a collaborative and positive professional work environment. And if you could change the slide. So to find out more about our opportunities and the qualifications that we're looking for, you could go to our Wonderspring Career Center on our website. You can always contact me, and yeah, I encourage you to do so. And thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you so much, Tricia. We appreciate you. And send my hellos to my good friend, Zakina Boone. Over at
Okay, I sure will.
Yes, indeed. So our next presenters are from Giant Markets, David Goodyear, Daniel Trimmer, and Jamie Shannon. I believe all are on. We will, if you, three of you can unmute yourself. We'll put up your first slide, and then you guys can present.
Okay, Jamie, why don't you kick it off for us?
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I am Jamie Shannon. I am the HR generalist with the Giant company, supporting specifically Giant Direct, which is our e-commerce operations. The Giant company operates using 4 banners. We have the Giant Food Stores, Martin's Food Markets, Giant Heirloom Markets, and then Giant Direct. So we have stores in 4 states. We operate primarily in the state of Pennsylvania, but we have stores in Maryland, Virginia, and West Virginia as well, and have over 180 locations. Giant Direct specifically, we have 4 e-commerce fulfillment centers, and we have plans to open our 6th fulfillment center in the early part of our early to mid 2021 that will be in the city of Philadelphia. So Giant Direct, we have currently our closest fulfillment center to the city of Philadelphia is in Willow Grove, PA, and it's housed within our Giant Food Stores in Willow Grove, and that's at 315 York Road in Willow Grove. So we actually are currently looking for full and part-time positions for overnight and daytime perishable prep associates. These team members prepare customer orders, including slicing of deli meat, cutting fruit, and labeling meat with barcodes, and then placing these items in the designated areas on the shelves so that our shoppers can select these items to fill the customer's online orders. The overnight prep team members, the hours that they work, it's at 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. And our daytime prep team members on weekends, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, their hours are 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. And then through the week, Monday through Thursday, it's a 9 a.m. start to scheduled till 5:30 in the evening. And those positions, the starting rate for those is $11 per hour. Our overnight stock team members, these individuals replenish the shelves each night. And these team members need to be familiar with all of the products and their assigned locations on the shelves. And these hours, those team members also work the 11 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. and the starting rate is $11 an hour. Another one of the positions that we have full and part-time openings for is our home delivery drivers. And these individuals, they're the face of Giant Direct. These team members, they must be a minimum of age 21 and be able to lift up to 65 pounds and have a valid driver's license. We do have pre-employment screening for our delivery drivers. That includes a road test, a DOT physical, background checks, drug test, a motor vehicle record verification, and there's also a lift test involved. And we have two different shifts for our drivers. There's a 5 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. shift and a 1:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. shift. For our full-time drivers, it is a 5-day guaranteed work week and weekends are required. And our driver positions, the starting rate for drivers is $13.85 per hour. And we also, they also can earn tips. So it is a position that they can earn tips as well, usually averaging between $4 and $6 additional dollars per hour based on the tips that they receive. Specific part-time positions that we are looking for include our shoppers, and these are the individuals who work inside of our fulfillment centers, select the products to fill the online customer orders, and they're using wrist mount scanners. They package the orders into totes, and once complete, stage the orders to be loaded onto the trucks for delivery. The shoppers do work in refrigerated environments. And we have two shopper shifts per day as well. So a 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. and or a 4 p.m. to midnight shift. And then those individuals can also be cross-trained to learn other parts of the business, including perishable prep and staging. And then the last full-time or the last part-time position that I have to speak to is our loader position. And these are the folks that kind of organize all the online orders. So once the shoppers have the orders selected, they're handing it over to the loaders who are then loading it into the backs of the home delivery trucks based on the routing that's been designed by our system. They're loading those items to go out to be delivered to the individual's homes, and the loader shifts are 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to midnight. So if any of these opportunities are of interest to you, you can apply online at giantfoodstores.com, and you'll utilize the link at the bottom of the page for careers. Benefits are available for full-time team members the first of the month following 30 days of employment, and part-time associates do become eligible for benefits at varying different stages throughout the employment history, usually after 1 or 2 years. Depending, but all team members are eligible for a 5% associate discount in our stores on select products. So employment inquiries for Giant Direct in Willow Grove can be directed to Christine Rath, who is our store employment associate. And on the screen, I have her email address is christine.rath@giantmartins.com, or you can call the store directly at 215-784-1960. And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you, Jamie. G. Lamar Stewart and all the presenters, thank you for the opportunity to be part of this great initiative. We certainly appreciate and admire the dedication and support in getting jobs for all Philadelphians. Giant Inland Market, we're part of the Giant brand, and our purpose is connecting families for a better future. And we believe passionately if there's one thing that can change the world, it's strong, healthy families. Today's families are more diverse than ever before. They remain the bedrock of our society. Our responsibility is to raise families up every day in every way we can. And if families are strong, communities are strong. If communities are strong, our world is strong, and that adds up to a better future for everyone. I say this because it's really the passion behind Giant Heirloom Market. We're a new approach to a very traditional grocery store. We have 3 stores operating currently in the city of Philadelphia, one in the Graduate Hospital neighborhood, one in the University City neighborhood between Penn and Drexel's campus. We have a 3rd store in Northern Liberties, a 4th store to open early next year at 2nd and South Street, as well as the traditional Giant Martin's brand opening at 23rd and Arch Street, and more stores planned for the Fashion District in Center City, Philadelphia. So our goal is to have the freshest produce and organic selection, local products that Philadelphians know and love, like Isgro's, Toludo's, High Street Bakery, Lissio's. You know, if you're a Philadelphian, you know these names. These are iconic Philadelphia brands. We're bringing along 97 years of excellence. We're bringing the Giant Martin's brand, but we're doing this to develop new innovations so we can create a modern neighborhood market. So we're privileged to be a part of the communities. We're privileged to be able to provide wholesome ingredients, nutritious ingredients, organic ingredients you can pronounce. Our mission is to connect our neighbors with real food, where every trip's going to inspire them to eat better. And we want to make an impact on the neighborhood and make our neighbors' days. Ultimately, our goal is to make sure that we leave our communities and our neighbors better than when we found them. So we have a very strong passion around training. We do training that is conventional and unconventional. We have an outstanding focus on having our partners bring their own personality to work. It's that uniqueness that helps us create the tapestry of Giant Heirloom Market and our team. Our team has no hierarchy, no ego. We're all partners, and we look at ourselves as a family with defined career paths and opportunities for all. So I moved really quick. I'll turn it over to Danny.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. So I want to touch on the base of what we actually have to offer as far as positions go within Giant Heirloom Market. So Giant Heirloom Market, as David had alluded to, is a little bit different than your traditional grocery retail environment. We have one position in the store, and that's called a partner. And our partners do everything in the store. So they learn not only the deli, they learn produce, they learn the front end, beer and wine, grocery, dairy, frozen food, meat and seafood. They learn every area of the store. And that's okay if nobody has any experience in those, because we teach everything. As David also mentioned, we take a very strong, passionate focus with the training. And that's something that you won't find in any other retail supermarket that I've ever seen or encountered. So we have folks that come in there, and the shifts do vary. Now, we do start out people at $12 an hour for our part-time partner position. Now, we do also have a full-time flex partner position, which starts at $13.85. And then from there, we have a hourly supervisor role called our team leaders. And then from there, we have our 2 exempt salary positions, which are assistant store manager and our store manager role. Now, the concept of Heirloom Market is everybody does everything. So even including the store manager, all the way to our part-time partners. Everybody chips in, including David, even myself when we were visiting the stores. So if you are interested, please apply at giantfoodstores.com, click on apply, and you'll see that we have 4 stores currently available within the Philadelphia direct area. We also have one on Grant Avenue in Philadelphia as well. But for the Heirloom Market specifically, we have the 3 stores, one located at 23rd and Bainbridge, another located in University City at 34th and Chestnut, and the other is going to be at 2nd and South. I'm sorry. Ooh, that's the 4th one that will be opening up soon, hopefully, after some COVID relaxation. The other 3rd one is going to be at 1004 North 2nd Street in the Northern Liberties neighborhood. So if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. David's contact is david.goodyear@giantmartins.com. Mine is daniel.trimmer@giantmartins.com. Thank you very much, everybody, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much, Dave, Daniel, and Jamie, for your presentations. I know we're just at 5 o'clock. We have a few more presentations. Thank you so much for your patience as we prepare to go to our next presenter. We're going to jump around here a bit. Our next presenter will be from DBHIDS, the Community Wellness Engagement Team. Paola, you can unmute yourself.
Hi, everyone. I want to first start by thanking everyone at the DA's office for organizing this forum and for allowing me to speak a little bit on our team. My name is Paola Masonette. I am the supervisor for the Community Wellness Engagement Unit. We are one of the outward-facing units for the city's Department of Behavioral Health and Intellectual Disability Services, DBHIDS. Next slide, please. So a little bit on our team first. The mission of our team is to provide greater access to wellness-related resources and supports for all communities within our scope. So really with that, we are targeting or recruiting for people that are really invested and interested in behavioral health services and community engagement work. With that mission, we envision communities that are engaged, integrated, and resilient through access to the appropriate wellness-related resources. A little bit more on our values. Our skilled team has specialists with lived experience and engagement in the community. So lived experience is a very important component here at DBHIDS, where we really value various lived experiences that people may go through, and we see that as an asset when it comes to the workplace. Our team values wellness, both internally for our team and for promoting it out in the community, because we know that external factors, whether it's education, our work, our housing, COVID right now, those kinds of things can really affect our health and in turn our behavioral health. Our team also values cultural and language differences. You're going to see in a little bit, a lot of the positions that we have to offer are very based on bilingual needs. We're looking for various different languages within the city of Philadelphia, because we know that Philadelphia is a very diverse community. Our team is also very community driven. We want to hear the community's voice. And our team lastly is mobile. We very much partner with a lot of different community organizations, faith-based initiatives, grassroots organizations in order to be accessible and available to the community. Next slide, please. So as you can see, we have numerous positions that we are offering. We are looking for a registered nurse who will act as a supervisor for our team. This is a non-practical position, but rather we're looking for that leadership that a practical nurse could provide. We're looking for a program evaluator to help evaluate this program, a family navigator who specializes in family services, a behavioral health specialist. We're looking for quite a few of those that can specialize in navigating the behavioral health system. And we're looking for various certified peer specialist positions, including a Spanish speaking, Chinese speaking, Vietnamese speaking, Russian speaking, Arabic speaking, or Haitian Creole speaking specialist. Any bilingual asset that someone can bring, we really see that as a value on the team. Very similar, we're looking for certified recovery specialists that also has those bilingual assets. If there are any questions related to the different certifications that are needed, later on I'm going to talk about the job descriptions where it talks about the certifications. Next slide, please. Here's just a picture of one of our current community teams in action in the Kensington community. And then lastly, you can reach our team at our central email, which is cweu@phila.gov. You can also visit dbhids.org. If you type in Community Wellness Engagement Unit, you will find access to the hyperlinks to all those different positions. You can also look further into some of the certifications like the Certified Peer Specialist, Certified Recovery Specialist. We are willing to hire and preface those that have bilingual assets in community engagement work, preface that before the certification and kind of enroll you into a certification process. So please reach out to us. I'm hoping, I don't know if my personal information will be listed. I'm gonna copy paste it and you can reach out to me also for additional questions. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly make sure your information is in there. Thank you so much for all you do. Our next presenter is Drew from Year Up. Drew, please unmute yourself. Thank you, sir.
All righty, thank you. Yes, Drew Adair. I am the recruitment manager for Year Up Greater Philadelphia. And first I want to thank everyone at the DA's office and community engagement. So Year Up is an intensive education and training and corporate work immersion program that really empowers young adults ages 18 to 30, moving them from minimum wage positions to meaningful careers in top companies. And we have now altered and revised our program. We used to be a full year. We are now 7 months. We are more streamlined, more flexible. This is in part because of what's happened with the pandemic, but also we were looking at moving in this direction at the Philadelphia site, as well as 2 other sites nationally. But we are now a 7-month program, and I'll go into that in a little bit, but we really are here to equip talented and motivated young adults with the skills, experience, and support to launch a professional career. And 90% of our graduates within 4 months of the Year Up program are those that are full-time are earning $42,000 a year or more after the 7 months of our particular program. So we can go into the next slide. Yep. So we have 3 phases. And again, we are now 7 months. The first phase, our learning and development, which is really the educational and training phase, is 3 months. Our work immersion phase is 4 months. That is for those who have gone through that education and training. Work immersion is really internship, and those are paid internships. The third phase, our career and higher education, is really our alumni program and alumni support, where regardless of whether you are a 1-year alum, 5-year alum, 10-year alum, you are able to work with Year Up throughout that time for networking, for job search help, all of those things that back up to the training and the immersion, the work immersion that you had during those 7 months. We see ourselves as a high support, high expectation organization. So again, it is an intensive program, but during those first 3 months, the expectation of work now is fully virtual, and that expectation is 20 to 25 hours worth of academic training and skills work, professional skills work. The 2 career areas that we focus on are information technology and business operations, which also includes business finance or financial operations. We are using not only professional teachers, but also individual and group coaches. Guidance is another aspect of our support. It is constant feedback, both from staff to student, student to staff, student to student. Partnership agreement is really our core part of our corporate partners commitment, providing individual mentors for students from the corporate world. And then our experience, that work immersion, that intensive internship training is that second 4 months. So while the first 3 months is part-time, do it at your own pace, up to, again, expectations about 25 hours worth of work. The 4-month internship is full-time, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. That is really absolute. There's no exceptions to that, which is why with that, it is the paid stipend of $200 per week during that 4 months. One of the great things about this program is the number of our students who are offered positions with those companies that they've interned with, or are given networking opportunities to move to other companies. The companies that we work with are all, as I said, Fortune 400, Fortune 100, including Amazon, Prudential, JP Morgan Chase, University of Pennsylvania Hospital System, Jefferson Hospital System, Merck Pharmaceuticals, Bank of America, et cetera. Those are the companies that we work with, and those positions are guaranteed, whether it is in person at those locations, or as we have done now, many of those internships are now virtual. One of the other aspects of our support has been during this COVID crisis, the 2 cohorts that we had going on, the cohort that had just started internships in February, and the cohort that was just starting their academic and professional training right at the beginning of March. We were able within 3 days to transition everyone to the virtual environment, including the support of providing any technological needs, laptops, Wi-Fi hotspots, et cetera, to any of those students that needed them. And again, there is no fee for all of this. This is part of the agreement with our corporate partners, is that once a student is accepted, that everything is taken care of in this way, in addition to additional financial stipends as needed on a case-by-case basis, and also additional support in terms of our work with our social service networks, in terms of things like childcare, other dependent care, clothing issues, housing issues. Those are the things that we work with each student on a case-by-case basis to ensure that once they start that program, that first 3 months of education and training, they will succeed and move through that successfully, get to the internship phase successfully, move through that, and then the hope is that they will be offered a position with one of those companies, or again, even if not, within 4 months, 90% of our graduates are working an average of $42,000 a year. I can go to the next slide, please. All right, and then this is my contact information. We generally do information sessions that are either live virtual with myself or my colleague Erica Johnson, or just traditional online. The benefit of the live virtual sessions is that you're working with one of us so that you can ask immediate questions at that point. Those are done on Tuesday afternoons at 5 o'clock, Thursday afternoons at 2 o'clock, and every other Saturday at 11 o'clock. So I would encourage people to get in touch with me if you have any additional questions at either 215-253-5544 or aadair@europe.org. Our general website is simply europe.org. Please feel free to explore that, and you will see all of the benefits of this really amazing program. Again, closing the opportunity divide of young adults who have the talent and the ambition, but do not necessarily have the access that, for example, kids from wealthier neighborhoods have. And that's what we are about, is closing that opportunity divide. All right, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Drew. Hey, listen, everyone, we're almost there. A couple more folks to go. Next up is Hesser Chevrolet. We have Tom and Jamie. Either one of you or both, if you want to unmute yourself and begin to present.
Hey, how you doing? First of all, thanks for including us, and it's been great to watch the different presentations and see what everyone's doing out there. It's very cool.
Hey, Tom, I'm sorry, buddy, you're coming in a little low on your end. If you can come a little closer to the mic.
Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so just first of all, thanks for including us. It's been great to see everyone's presentations, and just want to tell a little bit about our business here. We're Hesser Chevrolet in Northeast Philly. We're right on the boulevard here. Family-owned business. My family's been in the car industry for about 40 years. Owned a different store in Philadelphia for a while, and then we've been here for the last couple of years. And it's been a lot of fun. We love being in the city. We love being a part of the community, and it's been awesome to watch our business grow. And part of that growth is trying to add people to it, and continue to contribute to our community. So it's some of the needs we have on an immediate basis are definitely automotive technicians and an inventory manager, but also we're looking for qualified people in almost every position, whether it be in the parts department, a service advisor, the accounting department. Think about a car dealership. The perception from the outside, I think, we're just selling cars over there, but there's a lot of different applications, whether it be with a college degree or not a college degree or high school, some type of, trade school. There's a lot of applications here in a lot of different departments. But what a car dealership does provide is a career and an advancement for different levels. We have a lot of folks that start as a lot attendant and then, work their way up from there. They say, wow, like this is what's going on in the sales department. And then they get their feet wet as a sales assistant, and then, eventually start selling cars on their own, and their living and their life changes dramatically, very quickly in a year or two. And same in the technicians in the service department. We have, probably 3 or 4 young guys over there in our service department that was working at a great local repair facility, but came into a dealership, provided them formal General Motors training, all the state-of-the-art tools and facility amenities that a modern Chevrolet dealership has to offer. And in a year and a half, 2 years, a couple of these young guys have really changed their lives, for themselves, their family, where they're living. And it's been really cool for us to be a part of that and provide a place that people can grow and have a career. So it's some of the neat things that General Motors does. They do have a couple programs through a local community college over in New Jersey side that I think they have one in PA also, that the idea is you get somebody right out of high school and they can go and spend 2 years at the school. You train for 2 years, you come back for 6 months, come to the store and work for 6 months and back home and so forth for a couple of years. And you have somebody coming out, at a really young age, just right after high school, and they're 85% trained to be a General Motors technician, and they're on their way to making, a lot of these technicians can make $75,000, $80,000, $100,000. And the great thing about a car dealership is there's a very direct, easy, path to that. And you make what you produce. And a lot of these guys are very high, and gals make very high hourly wages and can produce 50 or 60 hours a week to get paid on in a 40-hour week. So it's we provide a nice, fun place. We like to think we're not like your traditional car dealership. We have a pretty light attitude around here and have a lot of fun. Then on the sales side, looking for an inventory manager, somebody that's obviously experience is great, but if not, their jobs are taking photos of the cars. We have a photo booth. It's a pretty cool bag, like spins around and takes a bunch of photos. It's pretty trick. Keeping track of where the inventory is, if things are out at the body shop, and stocking in inventory, keeping track of keys, all that great stuff. So it is a car dealership at the end of the day. But it provides really a lot of different opportunities and different career paths in one building. There's 5 different departments here, and we have a lot of fun. We have a great location, and we're growing, and we need help, and we're looking for people that are looking for a long-term career with a place to grow. So outside of that, I don't have a ton of more to share. We definitely we'd like to get involved in the community. We do things with different charity walk events or donations. We've done some car giveaway things for cancer, and we're here. We're part of Philly. We're right on the boulevard, and we're proud to be here. So thank you very much for including us, and it's been fun watching everyone else's presentation today.
Thank you so much for being on, and we appreciate you taking the time to present. Our next presenter is Harcum College at Congreso, Miriam Figueroa. You're gonna mute yourself. All right, we'll come back to Miriam. We'll move on to Clarifi. Karen Hassett.
Thank you for having me. And thank you, all of you, for staying on this very important and very informative event. So I'm Karen Hassett. I'm Financial Education Manager at Clarifi. Next slide. So what is Clarifi? We're a Philadelphia-based nonprofit. We operate in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and Delaware. We started in business over 50 years ago as a credit counseling agency. And today we're focused on empowering individuals and families to make informed financial decisions as they navigate life stages and the coronavirus. So how do we do this? Well, the first thing we do is we offer one-on-one counseling appointments. And what we do is we sit down with our clients, we help them identify their priorities and set financial goals. Some of the things that our clients will work on are like paying down debt, improving their credit score, getting ready to buy a house, or even preventing a foreclosure. And even just something as simple as starting a rainy day fund. During those appointments, what our counselors do is they review the credit report, credit score, they do a deep dive into budgets, and then help the client set goals and also help them devise action steps to reach those goals. The other thing that we do is we offer financial workshops. And of course, right now, that as well as our counseling appointments are virtual. You can find a list of our workshops on our events page, and I'm going to give you the website in a minute. The other thing we do is we run these boot camps, and they're several times a year, and participants in our boot camps make a 6-month commitment to work towards a financial goal. So in addition to having several workshops, our boot campers are also required to do 2 one-on-one counseling appointments and are paired with a financial coach who is pretty much by their side for the duration of the program. And oftentimes they're friends for life. I was a coach, and I actually just had a message from one of my clients who was doing a photography exhibit at her college. It was awesome. So you really do form lifelong bonds. Some of the programs that we administer are our family self-sufficiency programs. That's a HUD design program to decrease the dependence on public assistance while increasing assets. And 2 really important features of that program are case management or coaching, and then an escrow savings account. We do have another program that we're administering. It's a citywide Philadelphia program, and that's the goal to preserve homes in Philadelphia, and something like fixing a new roof or new windows, or even just updating a kitchen, so these houses are healthy and safe. And those are Philadelphia homes, and it's participants get a 10-year low interest loan through a local lender. And as part of the program, we also do credit counseling, and we do a home assessment. Then the last thing we do, you already heard from CareerLink, but we offer our financial resources at the CareerLink sites, or when we get back to being in person. And so really Clarifi is available to help individuals and families not just work through financial crisis, but to help them find resources and achieve financial stability. And you know what, the best thing about it is it's free. We're here, everything we're doing right now is virtual. So I'm going to give you, if you go to the next slide, and and here is the information to set up a counseling appointment. And again, look, you can do budgeting, credit score, debt management, and also we can also, if you're in right now with this coronavirus, if you need some help with resources, we are on top of that as well, because they change. I actually just heard that the state of Pennsylvania extended the moratorium on evictions to August 31st. Woohoo. So, and tomorrow was going to be the deadline. So that was by the skin of our teeth. But again, we have that information. So, and again, it's free. Did I tell you it's free? So contact us. Our number is 800-989-2227. Or you can, if you want to do online, you can just set up an account through myclarify.org, and then you can set up an appointment through that. Also, I would recommend visit our website, clarifi.org, for webinars and links to resources. And so I don't have jobs, but I have financial capability resources, which I think are super important for people to have at this, especially at this time. So thank you so much, and enjoy the rest of the event and the rest of your evening.
Thank you so much. And listen, that's our final presenter. We want to again thank you, send a thank you to all of our presenters on behalf of District Attorney Larry Krasner and our entire community engagement team. Again, I'm G. Lamar Stewart, Chief of Community Engagement. I have with me today Seth Myers, who's our Special Assistant, Adriana Bearfield, who is our Community Engagement Liaison for East and Northeast Philadelphia, Rayshawn Abdullah, who's our Community Engagement Liaison for Central and Northwest. Working alongside this team has been amazing, because it makes my job a lot easier when you have a very competent and fun team to work with each and every day. So it's an honor to bring these resources and be a convener of these resources on a monthly basis. And we hope that you heard something that will help put you and your family in a better situation in the weeks and months to come. And so we thank you again. Rayshawn is going to pop our information from the Community Engagement Unit into the comment section. If you want to reach out to any of us, feel free to shoot us an email today or in the days to come with any questions that you may have from any of the presenters that you heard today, any input, any feedback. please feel free to share. We look forward to learning how we can serve you and residents across the city of Philadelphia much better. We're going to host this again. Again, we do this every month. So our next one will be the first Thursday of August. We'll get the information out via the social media. Please follow our office's social media platforms. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Phila DAO. That's PHILA DAO. And you can stay up to date with all of the work that's happening in the DA's office, to include the one-stop job and resource hub. And so again, thank you so much for being on. Thank you for checking in. For those who've been on the entire time, thank you. Sorry we went over a little bit. We'll make appropriate adjustments in the future to make sure that we're being a good steward of everyone's time. Thank you again to the presenters, employers, social service providers, and to those who are participants in job and resource seekers. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Have a great evening.
Thank you.